Hi everyone, and welcome to Loveworks. I am Stella, and we are going to do an all signs tarot reading for you. We are going to see what is next, general messages, maybe love, maybe career stuff comes out, we'll see. And you are welcome to watch this for any placement that you'd like. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. We're going to start with Aries and see what is going on. All right, so tell me about Aries energy, please. What is next, Aries? Okay. All right, we're going to get to the tarot in a moment. Let's see what your oracle cards are. Okay, so you have bluff. You have discovery. Okay, and little handwritten card you have. Oh, okay, interesting. So I took the word relationship and I broke it down to relate and relatability, right? So relatability, so to relate is an ability. All right, so there we go. Okay, so we have bluff and discovery. Interesting. Okay. Whoops. All right. All right, let's see what's going on, Aries, please. Aries, how you guys doing? What is next, Aries? What's been going on? What is going on? What is next? What's coming in? Okay. Ooh, thinking about somebody or someone. Okay, wow. Oh my gosh. Okay. There you go. Four of Wands at the bottom of the deck. For those of you, especially who are single, now it doesn't have to be a love message. It could be any type of message. So in other words, you know, if it's about work and career, if you're dreaming about, you know, a new career, instead of it being about a person, then you can make the adjustments for yourself here, right? Because I don't know, it looks like in the recent past, like you guys are like ready to escape. Like you just really want to be free in a relationship. You really want to find someone that you know, like you're ready. That's at least the cards that I'm getting in this vibe. Okay, so it's like you want to escape the cheaters or the ones that present themselves falsely, and you know, the ones that like are too maybe down, depressed, or you know, something like, or feel like everything is work, or you know, things like that in their lives. It looks like you are absolutely like dreaming about a connection, or wanting a connection, or thinking about someone in particular. It could be someone that you already have in mind, but for many of you, I feel like it's like you're just kind of tired of the rat race in terms of either job, career, or same equivalent in the romantic sense as well. So, well, there you go. It looks really good. So the next three cards are this. I pulled the next card from the top of the deck just to see what it was, and it's the Nine of Cups. So these are amazing cards. A lot of times the Queen of Swords in like more modern readings can represent, like if we're looking at it from a romantic love perspective, like online dating apps, things like that. It doesn't have to be, all right, because frankly, you know, it's kind of difficult to connect with people these days, you know, with apps like that. But this does look very promising, I gotta say. So it's like putting yourself out there realistically. Like the Queen of Swords is not like a phony, oh, I love this and I love that, and here's my picture of myself when, you know, I was looking my hottest at like 22 years old, right? It's like the Queen of Swords is realistic. She's very to the point, you know, that kind of thing. This is definitely getting out, dating, you know, just turning that wheel. I feel like you guys could have a lot of luck with like finding some sort of partnership or something along those lines at this time. Again, if it's work and career, same thing. You know, it's like, then get your resume out there, be realistic, be direct, you know, network, those types of things. And it looks like the wheel is really turning for you. So remember too, we have this card of, you know, instead of like bluff or something like that, like I would, you know, like with the apps and things like that, instead it's like discover true, like what is your real, like relating ability, right? And put that out there, see what happens. Okay, so it looks like very positive for you guys. All right, so let's move to Taurus. Let me make sure I didn't get my cards mixed up. Yep, there we go. Taurus next. Okay, Taurus, so let's see what the message is for you. Taurus, we are looking at, oh, riches. Okay, what is next? Taurus. Okay, we're getting one of my little handmade cards as well. One of my handmade tails. Okay. All right, let's see. All right, so the first card out, you have riches, Saturn in Capricorn. So Saturn in Capricorn, kind of akin to like a 10 of Pentacles vibe in tarot. It's not like it's immediate, oh my gosh, you know, windfall type money. Usually Saturn in that's weird. I was going to say California. How weird. Okay, Saturn in Capricorn. So maybe that means something for you guys. Means more like well-deserved, well-earned, things that build up over time. But it can also mean like things that aren't going anywhere, right? It's like, it's solid. It's like solid, I would say with Capricorn, like material solidity. Okay, oh wow, and enterprise. Boom. Wow, okay, and then what do we have here? Oh, I like this one. Okay, so you have think before you text. Communicate your value with words that encourage, enrich, and heal. So if you're meeting somebody at this time or communicating with, and this could be not just romance, this could be in any area of your life, like think about things like before you just like shoot off texts and things like that. It's like, are you really coming across with value? You know, are your words encouraging? Are they inspiring, right? That sort of thing. Okay, so with enterprise and riches, I would say Taurus, we're going to get to the tarot right now, but I would say this, you may have like an idea or something along those lines that you are trying to build up. Absolutely. Like this could be very, very good for you. Okay. Oh my gosh. Yeah. I just split the deck at the Tower and the Eight of Pentacles. Like you guys might have some sort of business idea or enterprising idea that could really pay off here. It could take some time, Saturn and Capricorn, but it's the type of thing that will not just be a fly-by-night thing. It will last. It will be long-lasting, that sort of thing. Okay, so let's see. What's going on for Taurus, please? What's been going on? What is going on? And what is next for Taurus energies? Okay, so the phrase just came into my head and I hate it. I absolutely hate this, like when people say this, but it's not even a phrase. It's bada bing, bada boom. Just came into my head. And so I don't know, maybe that means something for you, or somebody's going to say that to you, and that could be like some kind of, you know, something to pay attention to, like around you at that moment when they say it or something. Because I don't like the phrase, so I know it was something that's meant for you guys, right? It's like not just something that's just swirling around in my head kind of thing. Okay. All right. What do we have for Taurus, please? Taurus, what's been going on? What is going on? And what is next for Taurus? Okay. Ooh. Could be going toward a Libra, possibly. We have Cancerian energy here. Okay, a King of Swords here, Scorpio here. Okay, yeah, healing from that. And then Tower and your card. Wow. Okay, so, okay, we have Capricorn energy here as well. Okay, choices. All right, so let me see. You have an interesting read, so let's take our time with this. Take a look here. So let's see, recent past, you have Six of Swords, Justice, and the Page of Wands. I feel like this is you literally like moving toward like a new cycle, something to get curious about, something to like pull yourself out of an energy that's been going on too long, or something along those lines. All right. Now, for some of you, this could literally mean like travel also. You may have travel coming up in Libra season. all right, or getting curious about how to make that happen, all right, or someone could be curious about how to make that happen toward you, all right, either way. Yeah, I definitely do see something about, there could be some things here about travel for sure for you in your future. But again, I feel like it would be something that you're just kind of curious about right now, but it hasn't really come into play quite yet. It may be something that's more around Capricorn season for you. We also have these two feminine energies here, right? With the Cancerian card of the Chariot in between. So, I mean, for some of you, it could be like a, you know, if it's a romantic thing, it could be like a same gender deal, right? Or regardless, feminine or masculine, or it's something more about, I feel for many of you, about like the two sides of you, right? It's like the emotional side and then the stable side. So I feel like right now I do feel like you guys are tossing around something, like about like moving on from something, maybe even literally moving, or travel in some way, something along those lines. Now, if it's not literal, then that would mean metaphorically, right? So like this emotional side of you, like really wants to break free from something, really is ready to be stable, right? With this Queen of Pentacles energy. So I do feel like there is someone that, and it very well could be an Aquarius, all right, because you have the King of Swords and the Star card in this reading. You also have two cards of Scorpio, though, also, all right, so because we have the Tower and the Death card here. But someone's coming forward here. So I do feel like what's next is clearly some sort of communication. Now, is it a big communication like, oh my God, Taurus, blah, 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 you know, big life-changing things? No, it is, though, underneath the surface. So it will not most likely appear that way, like in your next week or 10 days or whenever this happens, or right now for some of you. It's going to appear a little bit lesser than that, right? Page of Cups is just sort of testing the water. It's fun energy. It's good news energy. But it's not like, oh my God, you know, energy. But I think it will be. There's something here that I do feel like if you really, like, okay, if it is work and career, for many of you, I feel it's a relationship, but I will say if it is work and career for you, because you have this enterprise and riches card, then like there may be someone that like this week, or maybe recently, maybe it's already happened, but it would be recent energy or about to happen energy. Someone might just sort of innocently toss something out there that's a really good idea, all right, that by like Aquarius season or Capricorn season could very well set you on your way to something very enterprising and long lasting. So pay attention to those around you, especially those younger than you, like they may be giving you this information, okay, so just keep that in mind. But if it's more about romance, which I feel like for many of you it is, you know, you may have someone, like I said, could be a Scorpio, could be an Aquarius, it could even be another Taurus, quite frankly. But it's like, it does look like something here is going to surprise you. And it looks like they are more about commitment and long-term, like that Saturn and Capricorn, 10 of Pentacles type of energy, like wanting to have something very long-lasting with you. And it will most likely kind of come out of the blue here, okay? All right, so that's what I see there. That is Taurus. We're on to Gemini. Okay, Geminis, let's see what the energy is for you. All right, we are going to look at what is next. Okay, so what is the message for Geminis, please? Let's take a look at some oracles first before we get to the tarot. Messages for Gemini. Okay, negotiation. Getting things in order. Interesting. Okay. Let's get one of these for Gemini. Okay. Embrace non-judgment. See beyond the personality. All right. Is at the bottom of the deck. Okay. So let's see. What do we have? We have the first card out being negotiation. Submission. Okay. And excitement. So you have negotiation, submission, and excitement. Okay. And you have protected here also. So that's a really good card to have, right? And I underline that baby, right? It's just like boom, that's what it, most of my handmade cards have like 50 million words on them. You know, I kind of, you know, but this one, very, very clear. Okay, so let's see, negotiation, submission, and excitement. Okay, I feel like you guys are torn between a comfort zone and someone that is, like if it's romantic, I feel like there's someone in your energy that's looking for excitement, that's looking to change things up in their life. I don't get midlife crisis or anything like that. I just get like they're looking for more in their life, like more excitement, more, you know, wanting to go rock climbing or, you know, things like that, right? Or the equivalent. And it's like, I feel like you are more in this energy of, yeah, but I don't know. I even though I want to be free from my cage, I kind of like my cage, you know, so I feel like there's this sort of energy with you right now that is more about like getting things into order. Yeah, order is at the bottom of the deck, like Virgo energy, you know, wanting to sort of just, like I said, you know, either or that or the negotiation thing, which is Libra energy, which is about balance. It's just you. Maybe it's not somebody else. Maybe you are the one. You're sort of like torn between this sort of, well, you know, I want to be free from my cage, but my cage is kind of cozy, you know, but then on the other hand, I do want excitement in my life, you know, so I feel like there's just this sort of energy of not really feeling 100% sure of where you want to go, like right now. So let's see what the tarot has to say as far as what is next. Okay, so what is next for Gemini, please? Yeah. Definitely, there's that Libra energy again. So balancing your intuition is going to be key at this time. That's always what's going to help us because, you know, it's an interesting zone to be in when we are like that. Like I've been in that energy quite a bit where it's like part of me is like, okay, I'm going to get organized. I got to get this. You know, it's like, you know, I may want to go out and have all these adventures and travel and do all this stuff, but, you know, I really need to focus and buckle down and get some things in order, you know, so it's like kind of torn between two places. But really, like listening to our intuition is always what's going to drive us forward to the best possible scenario for us. So listen to your own intuition, not just the tarot readings and things like that too, okay? All right, so let's see, what do we got? Oh, okay. Yeah, it's like, now what? Yeah, that's, some of you have possibly ended something or are going through literal negotiations. Yeah, this could be like separation, divorce, something like that with this King of Swords and Justice here. And just sort of now what? But I'm jumping ahead. So let's see. We've got Two of Swords, the Death card, and Justice showing up here. So yeah, I feel like what you possibly aren't seeing, if that energy did sound familiar to you, like you're sort of like in that energy of, okay, what's next? Like literally, like maybe that's probably what the title of this video like really attracted you to, because it's relating to inside, like, okay, what is next? What do I want to do? Because I feel like some of you, what you're not like necessarily embracing is that, yes, something is done. Something is over. There is a cycle that has ended for you. And I don't feel it's like that you're in denial of it or anything like that, or holding on to anything. I feel like it's just more that, like, it really hasn't like hit home that, okay, you know, I am free from something. I do have this new cycle here. Now what? You know, kind of situation. So in the current energy, either someone romantically is coming toward you, all right, with the Knight of Cups and the Ace of Pentacles, and you're kind of like not sure what to make of this, okay? Sort of wondering, well, okay, I want to know more about them, or, you know, that sort of thing. So possibly some of you have a new romantic situation coming toward you. Feel like they want to take you out, treat you to dinner, something like that. But I feel like the way that they, if it is a new energy, the way that they like treat you, as far as like, I don't mean like treat you behaviorally, like treat you to dinner, or, you know, something that would be a standard date, right? Okay, let's go to dinner, or let's go to a movie or something like that. I feel like the way that they like treat you to something is like completely like different than what you're used to. So it might be like something, like I said, like they're looking for excitement in their life. So their idea, you know, they may not be like, okay, let's just go to dinner. They might be, like I said, yeah, let's go rock climbing or something like that. So I do feel like something very interesting is coming across your path if it is in the romantic sense. If it's not romance here, then I feel like this is just you like ready to like take on new type of energy, a new way of looking at the world, a new type of responsibility. Like you're ready for that. You're just not sure like what it is or like how to go about it, that sort of thing. But for many of you, I feel like it is that, but it's also like there is something romantic coming your way. If it's not romance, then it could absolutely have something to do with a work offer or a new job offer, something that's going to pay you more money. It could be a promotion of some sort. But again, there's this sort of energy of like, well, I kind of like my cage. That might be too exciting for me or something along those lines. But either way, it's like this is going to be like more money for you, right? Like if it is a new opportunity coming forward, you know, as far as work and career. It's going to be someone who I feel does respect what you bring to the table. All right. So that might be different for you too, because you might have been in positions where you weren't like really noticeable, like you were in your cage, the submissive, you know, kind of position at work or something like that, whereas this might bring you a little bit more forward, but it's because this person like respects what you bring to the table. So that might be unfamiliar territory for you, you know, so it's like, enjoy it, soak it in, you deserve it, you know, that kind of thing. If it is romance, then, you know, King of Swords very well could be an air sign, Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius, or you know, like another Gemini thing, right? But it doesn't have to be an air sign. But this person, they could even be like law enforcement, military, something like, or ex-military, you know, something along those lines. I do feel like they are definitely, yes, they are about excitement in their life and things like that. But it's, again, I don't get that it's a midlife crisis situation. I feel like this person just really wants to like live, and they want to live, you know, like share that living with someone who is strong and capable and different and unique. All right. So that's what I see coming forward. Okay. So let's go to Cancers. Okay, Cancers, let's see what's going on for you. Cancers. As far as what is next. Cancers, please. Cancer energies. That one, okay. All right, let's get one of the handmade cards here. Oh, all right. Okay. Oh, all right. So that one wanted to come out in Gemini, I think it was, or maybe it was Taurus. I can't remember. It was at the bottom of the deck, and it kind of was popping around here too. So I'll go ahead and show you this one. It says, embrace non-judgment. See beyond the personality. Okay. Let's see. So let's see what we got with oracles, and we'll get into the tarot. So we have isolation. All right. This woman here is like comforting this masculine that's like turned away and like, oh, I feel so alone. And you know, she's comforting him. Okay. We also have independence. Okay. And we have intoxicating laughter. All right. All right. And we did have embrace non-judgment here. See beyond the personality, because some of you may feel like, oh my God, all I'm doing is just like constantly like comforting this person, or, you know, something like that. Or, you know, why can't they be more independent like me? Or, you know, something like that, where it's, I feel like this is saying, well, see beyond that personality, because there might, you know, it might just be a phase or something that someone is going through, you know, and you have this intoxicating laughter card. So it's like, maybe there's a way to sort of just like make light of the situation, or, you know, bring more humor into something rather than, feeling like it's just like a constant downer, or like that, you know, always comforting this person, if it is a person in your life, okay. Or it could be like your own self. Maybe you are feeling isolated, but you like your independence. Well, again, you know, when things, if they feel lonely or something, then, you know, join in somehow with like this intoxicating laughter. Watch things that crack you up, or, you know, something like that. All right. So let's see what's going on with the actual tarot card energy for Cancers, please. Oh, I just saw your card a minute ago. Okay, what do we have going by here for? Yeah, I've seen Sagittarius, Leo, Cancer go by. All right, what do we got? Cancers. Yeah, I feel like it, like you. Yeah. Oh, okay. Oh, well, yeah. See, it's like, I don't know. Maybe there's something here that gets better. All right, that's what I'm sensing here. Because, yeah, I don't know, it does look like in the recent past, like someone, like you were trying to cheer someone up or something. I get a masculine energy, like, well, why don't you do this, you know, or instead of worrying and, you know, go, you know, learn about this or something along those lines. I feel like there's a masculine energy here that's like just kind of like drained, and it's the wounded warrior card, right? Or the up at night, like with anxiety cards, you know, and that isolation card that came out too, you know, just feeling all alone in something. And I feel like, you know, in typical Cancer fashion, you know, wanting to give them advice to build them up, or, you know, or just comfort them and be there, you know, through their ordeal. I do think though, let's see. So you have the Four of Wands, the Judgment card, and the Seven of Swords. Okay, so this, I would say, careful of like third parties and things like that, though, I would say right now. Also, because this to me is usually a combination of someone who's wanting to tiptoe out of their situation, their house, you know, something along those lines. Now, we do have the Judgment card here, though, which again is a reminder of embracing non-judgment. Okay, so I don't know, there may be something here where, like, maybe it's, you know, an absolute deal breaker for you to, you know, get involved with somebody who's married or something like that. Okay, that's fine. I'm not saying, oh, well, you know, embrace non-judgment and break your own rules or anything like that. But there's something here about like not judging it like too harshly. It's like laughing about the situation in a way where it's just, it is what it is kind of thing. So I don't feel like this is saying like, yeah, it's okay if they're already married, go for it, it's going to work out, or anything like that. I don't see that in this reading either. But it's still something about like not judging that situation though, like looking at it from like a different perspective, because I do feel there is someone here who is willing to free themselves from a marriage, you know, like a long traditional marriage or something along those lines, and emotionally unpack that and leave it behind and start moving forward. So you may be thinking, oh, this is a deal breaker, you know, I'm not going to get involved in anything like that, that's not my thing. And I get that, I respect that, that's fine. But there is something here though about like perhaps this person really, you know, is like feeling isolated and alone. And it's like, I get it, you're a very independent person, but there is something here that does suggest that this person may actually free themselves from this. So if there is anything there, you may want to, you know, I mean, I wouldn't say then go against your principles and go enter into some, you know, love affair triangle or something like that. But it's like, don't necessarily like remove it from the table either. It's like, then say, hey, okay, when I see, you know, that you have legally separated or something, cool, you know, then call me up, let's go out, let's go have a fun time, right? So, because, yeah, there's Two of Cups here. Now I'm looking at the bottom of the deck. Yeah, this person has like a vision, a plan. They want to be happy. Yeah. So I do feel like there is someone that is like willing to walk away from something. Either they live with someone or they're married or something like that. Now, it's not everyone's reading. Like, if you've been in this for like 10 years and the guy still hasn't left, or so, you know, I don't think it's anything like that. This feels like something where it would be relatively a newer situation. But I do think like you, like, this is probably why. Maybe it's because you're so independent and you have like an intoxicating laughter. Like, they are willing to see what happens. So I feel like they're just going through a difficult time. And it's not like they're just looking for you to solve that for them, which is usually the way third-party things work. To me, this feels like somebody who actually would up and leave. All right, that's what I'm getting there. Okay, so we are on to, let's see, that was Cancers. So we are on to Leo. Okay, Leo energy, please. What do we have going on for Leos? We're going to take a look at the Oracle first, then we will look at the Tarot. Okay, Leos, please. Oh, Quarrel is coming out. Okay. It's kind of like sideways. All right. It's like a sideways quarrel or argument. Okay. Yeah, again, sideways. Interesting. Risk. All right. Let's see what we get with the handmade cards here. Okay. All right, one more card for Leos, please. What's going on for Leo as far as what is next? Oh, something flipped around. All right. Look, that's awesome. You have favorable outcome at the bottom of the deck. Because, yeah, the first card out is quarrel, like a fight, quarrel. It's hard to say that word clearly. Okay. And then you have risk. This reminds me of, I think it was the Taurus or Gemini read, I can't remember, where there's like two sides of you, you know, one, it's because it, in a way, it kind of is like quarreling with oneself, like one side of yourself, like arguing with the other side. And it's like one side wanting to take a risk and the other side saying, I don't know. Okay, so here's what your like handwritten card says. Learning who you are is the best gift ever. So stop trying to figure it out and just be you. You know how like we always try to find out like who we are, you know, or you know, don't take those like personality tests or this or that, or oh, I'm an INFJ, or you know what, you know, any of those things. It's like stop trying to like figure out who you are and just be, you know, who you truly are. Like, just own it. All right, because it's the best gift ever. All right, it truly is. So yeah, I don't know. I feel like I don't think it's like saying, oh, you're going to get in a fight. You know, I really don't. I feel like this is like the fight within you. Like, should I take this risk, or should I, you know, do this, do that? So I don't know. I feel like you are in a sort of should I, shouldn't I kind of situation. This could be in any area of life, whether it be romantic love, work, or just life in general. So let's see what's going on for you. Yeah, I feel like you guys are like worried about like the direction that you like are feeling called to at this time. All right, so let's take a look and see what the tarot has to say as far as what is next. For Geminis, please. Oh, no, see? Yeah, I think it was a Gemini read. Or it feels like very Gemini energy, where it's like that split duality, all right? Because, yeah, we're on Leo, all right? So tell me about Leo, please. What's going on for Leos? What is next for Leos? All right. Leo, please. What is next? What's been going on? What is going on? And then what is next for Leos? Okay. Okay. Okay, recent past. You have Knight of Cups, the Devil card, and the Queen of Swords showing up here. So it could have been a Capricorn coming toward you, or an ex, like a come back around. Yeah, because you have the Judgment card here too. Whenever I see Judgment card and Devil card like in the same spread, a lot of times, like if it's romantic in nature, it's typically like somebody coming back around, or something that is very karmic. All right. So, yeah, I feel like you've put that behind you, though. Because it's like the way I'm looking at it on the board, right, is like you're ready to like speak your truth, speak your mind about something, and ready to put like the devil, right, behind you, right? Devil, ye get behind me kind of thing. So I do feel like you are just trying to present like a rational conversation with something. So for some of you, there could have been like a little bit of a quarrel or, you know, something along those lines. With the Seven of Cups, Judgment card, and the Hermit, I feel like it's time for you to okay, so when I say this, it sounds bossy. So I don't mean for it to sound that way, but the way I heard it in my head, it did sound bossy, but in like that tough love kind of way. So I'm going to go ahead and say it. Like, okay, it's like time to figure out who you are. I feel like the Hermit is highlighting this, saying, all right, it's time to figure this out, right? It's time to figure out who you are. Like that card says. It is the best gift ever. I feel like there's a lot of things like you're putting behind you right now. And it's like this sort of like obsession with something, okay, that's like, that hasn't been healthy or hasn't been working out or something along those lines. I also feel too, like it's time to like, because, yeah, I do feel like you have someone coming back around with the Six of Cups, Devil card, and Judgment card showing up, like in each of the little parcels. I have one pile, one pile Devil card, one pile Judgment card, one pile Six of Cups. Like those cards to me are all about someone coming back around or something that's already, you know, proven not to be, you know, super healthy or something along those lines. So I do feel like with the Page of Swords here, like it's important to like stay diligent with who you are. All right. Like I'm really getting that. However, here's the kicker. Adaptability does need to come in. So there's a part of you, I feel like Spirit is saying, okay, you know, who are you? Who the F are you? Right? It's like, it's urging you to figure this out. Like, who are you? All right. But at the same time, so like really identifying that as best as you can. And at the same time though, taking a little bit of a leap out of that box of who you think you are, right? And getting more curious about adaptability. So it's like, so it's a weird fine line of knowing who you are, but that doesn't mean that it's like I hear so many people so many times in conversations, they say something like, well, that's just not who I am, or, oh, that's a deal breaker for, you know, that's just not who I am. There's something here about like knowing who you are is not about like your necessarily like beliefs or opinions. It's more like knowing your energy, your essence, your soul. Because your soul continues on. Your soul, you know, doesn't give a flying whatever about like what political side you're on or what this or what that. It's like, it doesn't care. You know, it's like the soul is something that just, you know, linger on, you pale blue eyes. That's interesting. So that song just came into my head. Linger on, you pale blue eyes. Velvet Underground. Anyway, it just lingers on, you know, and continues. It doesn't give a flying F about, again, like your beliefs or your opinions or anything like that. So there's a difference between knowing who you are from a soul level and then being adaptable in real life. Some of you guys might have tuned out on what I just have been talking about for like that last minute or so. So I highly suggest like really like going back and because I feel like it's very important. Like it is actually good, important energy. There's something here about opening up to your truest compassion, your truest empathy, and not being annoyed at, well, this isn't perfectly lined up the way I need it to be. that's not who I am, you know, that kind of thing. I feel like it's a time to be more open-hearted, generous, adaptable. And as you are those things with others, then you are those things with yourself and your true nature. I mean, Leo's with the big heart, right? It's like, I get it. You've been burned. You've been burned. You've been burned. You know, you want to close that heart. You want to be careful. You want to be cautious. You want to be like, no, I've got my deal breakers. You know, oh, that's not who I am. You know, but it's like you know, life is an experimental thing here, right? None of us know what the hell we're doing here. So it's like, open up that heart. Why not? You know what? Yeah, you might get tromped on. Okay, well, you know what? We get tromped on then. But our true soul can never be that way. Right? So there's something here about opening up to a little more risk in your life in an adaptable way, but also from a place of, again, knowing who you are, but on the soul level. Okay? So that's what I have for you. I feel like you have a possible kind of relationship, or maybe it's work, you know, a new position or work or something like that that's around you that is requiring you to be more adaptable with it. Okay. All right. So we are on to, that was Leo. We are on to Virgo. Okay. Virgo, please. What is the message for Virgo? What is next? Virgos, please. Virgos, what is next? Okay. And let's get one of these, and then we'll get to the tarot shortly. Oh, okay. Well, that was quick. So we have, if not now, when? At the bottom of the deck. Okay, so we have generosity showing up. We have authority. Respect my authority. Authority. Okay, and we have find an opportunity today, at least 3 times, to tell yourself, I can do it. All right, so find, it could be anything, you know, so I can do it. Find an opportunity at least 3 times today to tell yourself that. Okay, so we have generosity and authority. Interesting. Very like emperor-esque energy showing up for you. Very strong masculine, like, energy showing up. So I feel it's in a positive way, or maybe you need to have a conversation with like a very strong, you know, masculine, authoritative, you know, type. So find an opportunity today, at least, you know, 3 different times to tell yourself, I can do it. Maybe you want to march into that office and ask them for a raise, or maybe this is someone who, you know, if it's a relationship, they sort of wear the pants, and maybe you want to ask them or talk to them about something. Well, find an opportunity to tell yourself you can do this. It could even be like a father figure or something along those lines. All right, so let's see what's going on for you, Virgo. Okay. All right, Virgo, please. Virgo. What's been going on? What is going on? What is next for Virgo? Virgo, please. I keep seeing Capricorn going by. Some of you may have a Capricorn, or there could be some changes coming for you in, yeah, wow, in, yeah, something about moving, possibly. All right, Virgos, please. Okay, Taurus energy. Okay, wow, yeah, Ace of Cups. All right, so let's see. Recent past, you have the Hierophant, the Six of Pentacles, and the Queen of Swords. Okay, so yeah, possibly having a discussion in the recent past about like a raise or a promotion or something along those lines. The Hierophant, again, another like authoritative type energy here. So there may be some, maybe you were going for a loan or a raise or something along those lines showing up. Okay. In the current energy, you have the Eight of Pentacles, the Page of Cups, and the Queen of Cups. Okay. You could be like waiting to hear from someone and wondering why you haven't, but they may be very, very busy at work. All right. It might be a busy time for them. Maybe they're working a lot, something a lot like that. All right. So it does look like you will receive communication though, because you, in your what's next energy, you have like communication cards. So like if you're waiting to hear from someone, it's possibly because they've just been busy working on their own stuff, you know, or working at work, you know, at their job or something along those lines. Maybe they have like some projects that they have to take care of around the house, who knows. But it's like there is interest here. So like don't think that they're not interested. There is interest showing up here. So there's that. Others of you, it could be something to do with like a child and work, or something like that, because the Queen of Cups is a very nurturing, you know, energy, kind of mothering energy. And then we do have a page here, which can be like children, or, you know, even if it's, you know, older children for you, whatever, you know, it can be that type of energy. Yeah, possibly, you know, discussions about that, or, you know, maybe your children are like, you know, needing a loan or something for their business, or, you know, something along those lines. But for most of you, I feel like it's more like a romantic storyline here. But there is that element to it. So anyway, you do have the Six of Wands, the Knight of Wands, Page of Wands, and then I pulled an extra card off the top of the deck because I was interested in what that Page of Wands, that very last card I pulled, was bringing in, and there you go, the Ace of Cups. So there is a good offer or a good energy coming your way. Like I said, if you're waiting, like, gosh, you know, or just waiting, like, am I ever going to have someone to flirt with or talk with or something like that? Well, again, you know, it does look like there is communication that's showing up as far as what is next. Coming toward you. There's a lot of like fire energy here. So fire energy is quick moving, it's exciting, it's motivating, you know, that type of energy. There's a lot of confidence showing up here as well. So like confidence in moving forward, that yeah, this is moving towards something that is very like replenishing, very, you know, the cup overfloweth. So moving towards something that you love, right? So so I do see a lot of activity in your like what's next, and I feel like it's going to be presented as like something like I'm kind of getting like ordained in a way, you know, in a very positive way, a romantic way. Yeah, there's a plan that is being like hatched here. Yeah, a lot of fire energy showing up for you. So definitely could be a fire sign coming your way. Aries, very possible with this like sort of emperor energy that we talked about with those oracle cards, could definitely be Aries. We have Leo showing up here as well, or a Sagittarius. Doesn't have to be any of those signs, but those are, and Taurus, we had Taurus too, which is not a fire sign, but we do have Taurus energy as well. But it's like, it's definitely got that like excitement quality to it. So something's up. What's next? Something's up. Okay. So whether it be work and career, or just something like motivating, all right, like in a romantic sense or a life sense, it feels like it's starting to flow in a positive way. So I can do it. All right, let's go to Libra now. Okay, Libra, let's see what the message is for you. We are going to look at oracle cards first, then we'll look at the tarot to see what is next. Okay, so tell me about Libra. What is the message for Libra energies watching this video, please? Okay, Libras. The hidden. Something hidden. Okay, let's see. Okay, self-worth at the bottom of the deck. The value of this is key to your career. Self-worth, all right? The value of self-worth is something that is key to your career, is the message underneath the deck. Okay, so let's see. We have, ooh, hello, domination, Libra. I had no idea. Okay, and we have charity. Oh, No, oh, no? Okay. For some reason, when I saw that, I thought, oh, maybe I read it wrong. And it says donation. Okay, no, okay. Domination and charity. I'm not sure what I'm getting with these two yet. So we'll take a look and see. Let me look at your handmade card here, and then we'll put this together with the tarot. Okay, so it says, stop worrying. It is the most useless, unforgiving type of energy and has not served you well. Like worrying, how does worrying ever like serve anyone well? It doesn't serve us well for doing the worrying, and it certainly doesn't help others, worrying about them. It shows that we have lack of faith in them, right? So it says, start spending your time well, and you will learn not to worry. Yes, it is that simple. So start spending your time well. And I put spending in quotes because sometimes we need to think of it in terms of like we are spending time, right? So it's like spend your time well and you will learn not to worry. Yes, it is that simple. Okay, so domination and charity. Okay, all right, now I'm getting it. All right, so I feel like the fact that you had that message about career at the bottom of the deck as well. So for some of you, this might be something around like your work, your money, something like that. It's like some of you have this ability to dominate, right? And in a healthy way. All right. And it's like, but may feel like that's not the case. It's like you're dependent more on like charity, or you may be viewing like you, with that self-value card, you may be viewing things in a way that it's like it's up to like others to like, I don't feel like it's like up to others to support you. I don't feel like most Libras are not going to be in that mode, but it's like, instead of like dominating, like in other words, knowing you are the one that brings in your income or your position, in a company or something like, it's you, it's not like, oh, well, I hope somebody else will reach out and, give me that leg up or something like that, like in that way. So I feel it's more about like putting that power, within yourself here to be able to like move up the ranks or dominate in your field or whatever it is that, makes sense as far as you work and career wise. I don't feel like it's a romantic message, or else I'd give a twist on that too. I feel like it's a pretty straightforward work and career type message, or just life message in general. All right. Like if you don't work, then it could be like a life message there. Like if you're in a marriage or something where you don't work and the other person works or something, it's still saying like, well, that doesn't mean like your self-value is, lacking or something like that. In fact, it's like, realize all the things that you do dominate in, right? And don't look at it as like, well, everything I get is from somebody else, like charity or, something like that. It's like, no, start spending your time well. Okay. So what do we have for Libra? What is next for Libras? Okay. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh my gosh. See, there's just this vision here that needs to happen. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, not looking. Okay. Wow. And the Empress energy here and the Six of Pentacles. This is amazing. Okay. Yeah. Wow. Yeah. There's something here definitely about something that is extremely like difficult and like not working out, right? So there's this like need of like self-value here for sure. Nine of Pentacles and the Empress showing up. Okay, so recent past energy. So we have the Ace of Wands, the Three of Wands, and the Star card. This is fantastic. I feel like you guys like recently, all right, it could have been like last week or last few days, or maybe, the last like 3 months, something like that, have been really more proactive about visualizing like, what is healing to you? What is like, or what do you want to have hope and faith in? What, where do you want to heal and be stronger in which areas, right? So I do feel like you've been very motivated and positive in that direction. All right. But now in the current energy, it feels like there's something here that could have sort of not upset the apple cart necessarily or upset the balance, but Yeah, actually, yeah. It was something that's kind of like upset the balance of that. So there's like this forward sort of positivity, this vision of something that you've, been fairly, I would say optimistic and visionary about. But now in the current energy, something could have happened quickly here that sort of threw you off your game a little bit, or it's very like emotional or deep energy. It could even have something to do with like siblings or children, oftentimes with the Six of Cups. Or the Six of Cups can also, like if it's romantic, it can also indicate something of like, like a past kind of person coming in or something along those lines. Could be Pisces energy as well. But it feels like something that like possibly brought you like back, like into the past in a way. So it could even have been like the moon. Maybe the moon had an effect, the past full moon that we had. Maybe it had a pretty significant effect in an emotional way or something like that. Well, here we go. In this like what's next energy, you have the Hanged Man, Ace of Swords, and the Empress. So there's something here to like really look at from a different perspective and get super clear on and know your value and your worth. All right, I can't stress that enough, because I feel like if you do not maintain that energy of self-healing, value, worth, nurturing energy to self first, right? And then that can pour out onto others. It's like if we don't get super clear on that, then I feel like, then there could be a lot of struggles and arguments and dramas and things like that going on in your life here. So it's like, instead it's time to like put the energy into realizing what disappoints you until you can get clear and rest on that Ace of Swords here of truth and clarity, which we saw in your spread, the Ace of Swords, and stand up on those own 2 feet and realize your value and your worth here. That's what I'm sensing. So I feel like your reading isn't necessarily a like predictive reading of like, oh, here's what's next. Oh, there's a, something at work, or oh, there's a new love interest coming in, or anything like that. And those things may be going on for you, but I feel like the universe is really trying to send more of a message of empowerment at this time. All right, so that those things, if they do, or if they are coming toward you, like you're handling them in Empress of self-value, self-worth energy. That's what I'm really sensing from this reading, okay? All right, so let's go to Scorpio. Okay. All right, Scorpio, let's see what the message is for Scorpio. We are looking at what is next, Scorpios. Scorpio. Oh, something flipped around. Innovation. Jupiter in Aquarius energy. Okay. Oh, wow. And you have more Aquarius energy at the bottom of the deck with originality. Okay. So I'll show you all the cards in a moment. Let's get your hand written card here, and then we'll see what we got before we get to the tarot. All right, Scorpios, please. What is the message for Scorpios? Oh my gosh. The best way to predict the future is to create it. All right. That was supposed to be me drawing a crystal ball, but it didn't come out that well. Anyway, the best way to predict the future is to create it. So not to watch 50 million, pick a cards and, tarot readings and things like that. The best way to predict your future is create it. All right. So let's see. But that's not your card is right here and it flew out. So let's see. Okay. So your very first card, like I said, Jupiter in Aquarius, you have innovation. And again, that ties in nicely with the bottom of the deck, which is originality. All right. So very Aquarian energy here, uniqueness, originality, right? Yeah. And then we have resistance. Interesting. So like Taurus energy, that stubborn energy, that fixed energy, of like, and your polar opposite Scorpio, right? So it's like, that's possibly like the battle within you right now is, wanting to be innovative, original, but then at the same time, like either meeting resistance, or It's like, or putting up that resistance yourself. Okay, so let's see what your handwritten card is. Okay, so you got one of the like number cards, and it is number 426, and it says encouragement and support from your angels. Monetary and material needs will be met as you serve your soul mission. All right. So yeah, I feel like you guys are, torn between two lovers. All right. In the sense of like innovation, but then there's like this resistance. So whether that resistance comes from you or whether it comes from, because Aquarius energy isn't always like super easily accepted. I'm not talking about Aquarius people. I'm talking about Aquarian energy, right? Because it's innovative, it's original, it's unique. So it could be either or for you, but there's something here that says, hey, your monetary needs, your material needs, they'll be met as you are serving your soul mission. So if your soul mission is feeling very Aquarian, like to be innovative and original, then that's your soul mission, right? If that's not your soul mission, then you'll be able to tell, because it's like your material needs and stuff like that is not going to be met until like you kind of discover more about what your true soul mission is. So the best way to do that, well, this card has a lot to do with it. Okay, again, not looking at, so that doesn't mean go rush off and look up pick a card that says, what is my soul mission? Okay, it means like go within, ask ourselves, because Scorpio, I'm Scorpio too, right? It's like we love to like research things. Oh, okay, soul mission. So let me find that out, and then we'll start Googling how to find my soul mission, or things like that, or we'll pick up the books around our house and like, oh, what can I find out? So instead, it's like the best thing to do is just go within, Ask your angels. It says encouragement and support from your angels. Boom, right? So ask them, for help and guidance in determining what is my soul mission. Not what I just think about, or, think things and stuff like that. Like go deeper to the soul. The soul is not like the brain necessarily, right? Okay, so let's see. What do we got for Scorpio, please? As far as what is next. Yeah, see, what you're not seeing is there is something, like there is love. There's a love offer or something that you love, like right around the corner here. Okay, so what is the message for Scorpio? Yeah, rags to riches, right? Or at least the foundation to build the riches. All right, what's up, Scorpios? Okay, be patient with yourself at this time, for sure. Okay, let's see. Yeah, I think there's something here that's going to set yourself free. All right, it truly is. Yeah, Empress energy, Ace of Pentacles, King of Wands at the bottom of the deck. Oh my gosh, all kinds of things showing up here for you. All right, this is all at the bottom of the deck, though. Okay, so let's see. So recent past, we have the Ace of Wands, Knight of Wands, and Nine of Cups. Okay, so yeah, definitely this something interesting going on in the recent past. All right, so either something that you were pretty gung-ho about or motivated about, or someone that's possibly like pursuant towards you. Knight of Wands energy, right, is usually fairly pursuant. Nine of Cups could technically, a lot of times that can mean like a wish come true or something along those lines. So something new has struck you recently. Okay. In this current energy, though, I feel like you're sort of like, I don't know. I feel like you're just being patient with the Temperance card here. And again, I, want to remind you, you had this like encouragement and support from the angels. Temperance card is oftentimes exactly like how I described that card. All right. Encouragement and support from an angel energy here. So you have this sort of like, I don't know what to do with this energy in this current energy. So it's like you're trying to take something and visually, visualize the future, and you are being very patient with, and very emotionally temperate, with the situation. But a lot of it is sort of like Four of Cups, like, I don't know. Do I want this cup? Do I not? Kind of energy. So it could be, it kind of feels like that resistance that was in your original oracle cards. So it could be like a love offer. It could be a job offer. It could be more of just like, what do I want out of life? Energy, Four of Cups, kind of thing. And well, okay, start creating, like that card said, right? If you want to predict your future, create it. Start visualizing, like, what does like balance look like to you? What does harmony look like for you? That sort of thing. Some of you may have a Sagittarius in your energy as well. And then we also have a King of Swords here, which can be Gemini, Libra, or an Aquarius. You do have 2 cards of Aquarius here, by the way. So we have King of Swords, 6 of Swords going into Page of Cups. So I do feel like there's what's next is more predictive for you, but it's not like a end all be all. I feel like your message is all that stuff we talked about at the beginning of this segment, of this reading, okay? And then this is just like the sort of like what's going on this week or next week kind of thing. I feel like you're going to hear from someone. All right, Page of Cups. It's like reaching out, right? It's testing the water. It's cute, it's flirtatious, you know, that type of energy. So this could be possibly 6 of Swords. Oftentimes to me can mean like a distance relationship, and I mean like distance. So like they might even be in another country kind of thing, right? Or it's just a metaphor of something. So there could be some sort of like good news. Maybe somebody's like coming to travel, you know, to you, or, you know, something along those lines. It could possibly be a job offer for some of you, but it doesn't feel like job offer-ish like in this reading. But, you know, I'm not going to take that away from you either. But again, it's like the best, you know, the best prediction is what you create. So I would go with that energy and that positive energy. So I feel like this is just like some sort of message coming in that you may hear about. And it's light, it's fun, it's communication. Okay. So, but those other things that we talked about should be the more importance of this reading. Not just, oh, good, I'm going to hear from my person, or, you know, something like that. It's like this other stuff is like more of the message for you from what I'm seeing. Okay. All right. So we are on to Sagittarius. We are. All right. Okay, Sagittarius, let's see what the message is for you. All right. So what's going on for Sagittarius energies? Sagittarius, what is the message for them at this time? We're going to get some oracle cards first, Sag, and then we will move into the tarot. Okay, what is the message for Sagittarians, please? Oh, okay. Exaltation came out. Okay. Oh, fulfillment at the bottom of the deck. Well, this could be setting up pretty good for you, Sagittarius. So let's see. Let's get your other last card here before we get to the tarot, and let's see what we got. All right, Sagittarius energy. What is their message? Thank you. Inner confidence, way more attractive than outer swagger. Okay. All right, so your very first card that came out is Exaltation. Beautiful. All right, and we have Defense. Okay, Defense. And we have, what are they learning from you? Okay, because sometimes I wrote this card, what I had in mind is a lot of times like we ask ourselves, like, what am I learning from this person? Or what am I learning from that relationship with that person? Or, you know, things like that. Or why is this person in my life? Or, you know, those types of things. So instead, I kind of like, I like shaking things up, right? So I wrote this down as, well, okay, that's cool. But what are they, you know, we also got to consider, like, what are others learning from us? So if we're walking around like complaining a lot, for instance, or we're walking around like, you know, I don't know, like a common thing I always, I bring up a lot of times is like relationships, or something like a common one is, you know, oh, well, we're staying together because, you know, for the kids or for the children or something like that. Well, then your children are learning that that's what love is about, just sticking around, you know, with somebody. So you think you're like benefiting them, but you're kind of not, because you're just teaching them then, you know, or not teaching them, but like setting that example of like, oh, well, that's what love is, you know, just kind of sticking around, you know, kind of thing. So that's like a kind of a harsh example, but that's what I meant like from this card. So you have Exaltation and Defense. Interesting. Yeah, I feel like there's something about like some of you may be putting like possible like comfort because the exaltation card is Taurus energy. It's moon and I'm covering the glyph with my hand, so here it's hard to hold up the cards without covering up the glyphs. It's moon and Taurus energy. So Taurus energy is that sort of luxury, material, you know, not saying they are, you know, materialistic or anything like that, but it's like that, like being surrounded by comfort and beautiful things and stuff like that. So it's like, I feel like there's this energy here of defending that. All right. But then what are they learning from you? That is more important, maybe. That, you know, it's funny that I used that example that I used about the marriage and stuff, because I have a feeling actually that does hit with somebody. And instead, like we have fulfillment and achievement and decision here also at the bottom of the deck. So there's something here more about like deciding what is like more important. Okay. All right. So let's see. What do we have going on for, oh my gosh, who are we doing? Sagittarius. Taurus energy is strong in this reading. Very, very strong. All right. So some of you may be watching multiple placements. So then absolutely know this message is for you. And even if that example I gave about the marriage and the kids and whatever isn't exactly your situation, there's something about that message that applies. All right. So it just, you know, use it as a metaphor in some way in whatever is more personalized to you. Okay. So what do we have going on for Sagittarius? What is next? What has been going on? What is going on? And what is next? Energies, please. Taurus energies. Okay. Oh, there you go. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, there's definitely like, bottom of the deck here. I feel like as you follow more like harmonious energy, like you're going to be way more fulfilled. Okay. There's that. But okay. So in the recent past, we have the 9 of Swords, the Sun, and the 8 of Swords. So we have this energy here flanking the Sun, you know, but the energy that's flanking is like worry. We have this masculine energy here that's like up at night, overthinking things. You know, well, if I do this, what if this happens? And then that just compounds and compounds, and then there's a whole bunch of what ifs and worries and scary things, and they can't sleep, right? And then we have on the other side, we have the feminine energy here that is feeling trapped. You know, maybe afraid to dip that foot in the, you know, that toe even in the emotional pool of things. So it's like, that's what's flanking like the sun, you know, the sun is this bright optimism. So I don't, you know, it could be a couple, you know, for some of you, like a romantic thing or something. So one of you is like, very overly overthinking things, and the other is like a little like resistant to make those moves. All right, when what could be going on is the Sun card here. Okay, then in this current energy, you have the Death card, the Ace of Pentacles, and the 3 of Pentacles. So the Death card can represent Scorpio, but if so, I'd say that's probably more coincidence for your reading, for this general reading, because it's like, it feels more like it's more of like leaving that energy, because the Death card is more, it's the way I'm looking at it on the table, it's leaving behind this energy and moving instead toward the energy of, well, what if this is a great opportunity and we can really work well together, or work something out together. All right, it could be that as well for some of you, but there's this energy in the current energy of possibly like trying to work things out. Now, here's where it gets tricky. So for some of you, that could absolutely be a beautiful thing. If it is something about like working something out with someone, something's coming back around, there's another chance to build from a fresh, new perspective for, you know, getting the right help and guidance. This can sometimes mean like, you know, therapies or mediation or, you know, things like that, right? So if there is a fresh new start that can be had, then fantastic, if that's truly where it can build from. But if it's just doing that because, again, you want to defend like your belongings or, you know, something like that, or your comfort zone, I feel like that's just going to end up in a lot of like confusion and quarreling and dramas and things like that. And then again, what are we showing our children, you know, with stuff like that? When we stay for something for a comfort zone, right? Then they're more apt to do that in their own relationships, regardless of their age too. I'm not talking about, it doesn't have to be little children that are learning from this. Even our adult children pay attention to our lives. So it's like you know, I would stress that again. But if it's not about like separation, divorce, or getting back together, or mediation, or, you know, things of that nature, then it's like or children at all, you know, maybe there's no children involved here at all, then I would say basically the gist of this reading, regardless of any situations, is that yes, there actually absolutely is this ability to leave behind like those stress, worries, overthinking, afraid to, you know, try things, or afraid to be happy, right? These are like being prisoner in the mind and afraid to be happy, right? Instead of that, it's like move toward things that feel like solid new beginnings, new starts, work with others in a positive way, right? See each other as like in your romantic situations, in your work situations, in your family situations, what have you. See things from new eyes and new ways of like getting to know them, and, you know, that kind of energy. I do feel, like I said, that there's just too much conflict within a situation of trying to maintain some sort of comfort level of exaltation of like those Taurus luxuries or something along those lines. So there is fulfillment and achievement, but you do need to make a decision. All right, there is fulfillment, but we do need to make a decision. All right, so that's what I have for you, Sagittarius. Okay. So we are on to Capricorn. Okay, Capricorn, let's see what the message is for you, Capricorn. Okay, what is next for Capricorn energies? What is the message with the oracles first, and then we will get into the tarot? Okay, Capricorn, please. Okay. All right, and let's get one of these handmade cards, message for you. All right, Capricorns, please. Okay. Intentional partnership at the bottom of the deck. So basically what I had in mind when I made up this card is like to move towards things like with intention, right? As a partnership, not just like, oh, a relationship or something like that. Relationship just means like relatability, right? But partnership is like working together, right? As partners. So that's what I had in mind there. But that's like at the bottom of the deck. So I don't know if something like that is here for you yet. Okay, so you have escape, you have manipulation, and you have my faith. Oh, okay. So then you have a mantra. We'll talk about those other cards in a moment. You have my faith sustains me, wisdom leads me, and love surrounds me. So this would be a great mantra for you for a while. All right, if it feels comfortable for you. Okay, so my faith sustains me, wisdom leads me, and love surrounds me. Okay, yeah, escape and manipulation. Okay, let me see what we got. Yeah, not too much there that's in order. Okay. So, I don't know, there's this energy here of possibly like just two different split personality things. It's like one side wanting to like escape, you know, a situation, you know, like one side of yourself right now wanting to escape, but the other side wanting to like manipulate the situation, make sure that this is going to be what it is, you know, something like that. So I do feel like there's this, like that's not like, some of you, if it's not about romantic love for you, it's like an intentional partnership, like with yourself, right? So it's not about like, well, I need to manipulate this to happen, or I need to control this to happen. And it's definitely not about like just escapism either. So there's something about intentions. Okay, so neither of those energies are going to ever turn out well. When we try to manipulate a situation, when we try to control a situation, how does that work out for us? Right? Okay. When we, on this other side of the coin, when we just kind of indulge in escapism, you know, dreaming, or, you know, or just like, you know, fight or flight, and flight is the choice du jour. How does that work out, right? Usually not that great either. So it's more about intentional, like needing to make the positive intentions. My faith sustains me, my wisdom leads me, and love surrounds me. Like that's intentional. All right. So let's see what we have going on for you, Capricorn. All right, with the tarot. Oh, look at that. Yeah, there's like this freedom here and like this 10 of cups, like kind of happiness, right? So, but the Fool card is about like a clean slate, you know, just completely, you know, not any of these energies like escapism or manipulation or, you know, any of those things. It's like a clean slate and, you know, free to be you, you know, kind of your best you. Okay. All right. So what do we have for Capricorn, please? What's going on for Capricorn energies? What has been going on, what is going on, and what is next. Okay. Oh. All right. Let's see. Okay, so recent past, you have the High Priestess, you have the Ace of Wands, and you have the Judgment card. So intuitively, or something you're, okay, because the High Priestess sometimes can be secrets and things like that too. There may be something like secret, like that you are keeping like secret to yourself, or like, I don't feel like it's like keeping a secret from someone or like, you know, like cheaty vibe, you know, I'm not getting like that sort of thing. I think it's more of like intuitively, like you're keeping something on the down low. All right. So it may be like, with the Ace of Wands and Judgment card, there could be like new motivation, but towards like the Judgment card is usually more like about things from the past, because it's like the people are coming alive again out of their grave, right? So it's like it has a lot to do with things coming back around or coming back to life. So I feel like there's something here that either you are thinking about bringing something back to life, all right, or getting different like motivations, all right. Now for some of you, it could be also that you may just be like having a lot of motivation about something, but afraid of the judgment about it. All right. So there's that too. If it's like work and career related, I'd say just go for it. All right. That, you know, it's like be the magician and, you know, mercurial energy and work on what you need to work on. But I don't know that with this 5 of Cups here showing up in your current energy. So you have the 8 of Pentacles, the Magician, and the 5 of Cups showing up in your current position. So it's like, I do feel like you're like, you've got your head down, you're working to like manifest something, but then there's like this 5 of Cups energy that's got the head hung low and the, you know, looking at the spilled cups rather than looking at like, if this card were to, the way I'm looking at it, if it were, right now it's faced towards the past, looking downward at what has spilled. But what they need to do is just turn around, right, which would be towards the future in the way tarot is laid out, and they would see the 2 of Cups here, right? Happiness, togetherness, you know, something like that. So it's like, I do feel like there's this, again, like trying to manipulate, you know, a situation in a way, but then, you know, comes that sort of escapism, you know, that sort of, oh, I don't know, my head's hung low, you know, look what happened before in the past, you know, my cups were spilled, you know, that sort of thing. So I would say right now is like to be diligent about your mindset. Okay. Again, like intentional things, not getting caught up in, oh, I can't do that, or, oh, I can never have that, or, oh, you know, I screwed that up, I'm never going to have that again. You know, things like that. It's like that negative self-talk with that head hung low. You know, I mean, look at the body posturing, right? Like there's nothing positive going on in that mindset. So instead, you know, what we have here, you know, in showing up as far as what is next, you have the 8 of Wands, the 3 of Cups, and the 7 of Wands. So there's an energy here of more action, activity, excitement, fighting for what you want. Also, I don't get, sometimes with the 7 of Wands, I get sort of blocking energy, like you're pushing someone away kind of thing, but not with this, because this is like fun, exciting, right? So I do feel like this is more like stand up and fight for what you want. It's like there is more adventure, more fun, more excitement, you know, things like that. But again, it needs to be intentional. All right, that's what I'm seeing for you, Capricorn. So I feel like you're gonna have messages soon with the Eight of Wands, or a lot of communication, or even like going out. You know, some of you, you know, maybe going out with friends or something, and it's like, you know, fight for that independence and that fun of doing that for yourself is what I'm seeing here. All right, having a good time with friends, if it's not a date, you know, that's coming in for you. All right, that's what I have for Capricorn. So we are on to Aquarius. Okay, Aquarius, let's see what the message is for you, my friends. Aquarians, what's going on? We're going to get a few oracle cards first, then we will get to the tarot. Okay, what are the messages for Aquarius, please, at this time? Oh, 3. Okay, all right. Let's see. All right, let's get one of these. Aquarius, please. Okay, at the bottom of the deck, you guys have, they do love you, but only in the way that they know how. All right, only in the way that they know how. Okay, so let's see. What do we got oracle-wise? We have Vision, Sun in Pisces. Vision. So, like, really tuning into that subconscious energy and, you know, oh, wow. And you have Sun in Scorpio. So you have 2 Sun cards showing up right away. Endurance. Okay. And we have Fulfillment, Saturn in Sagittarius. So that's interesting. Okay, so you have 2 Sun cards, right? Like bright, powerful, right? Have vision, have endurance. Okay, and then you have Saturn and Sagittarius. So Saturn is sort of restricting at times, right? It takes a long time. It can seem like forever, right? But Sagittarius energy is very optimistic. Okay, so it might take some time here, you know, to reach this fulfillment place, but it's like keep the hope, keep the faith, keep the rose-colored glasses on. You know, it's like, you know, it's okay to have like false hope when you need it, okay? Because it will pay off, because it takes a while, but it is reaching fulfillment. Okay, and then you have, oh, how cute. Okay, you have, I got this from like well, I don't think it's originally his song, but I know it from Krishna Das. It's usually he does like India mantras and, you know, Hindu mantras and things like that, but he did one song in his country twang of Jesus is on that main line, tell him what you want, right? So it's like Jesus is on that main line, tell him what you want. You can call him up and tell him what you want. So put that phone call into Jesus. All right, I love it. Okay, so let's see, Aquarius. So this is a very optimistic reading is what I'm seeing here. The sun is here. It's like, keep that vision, keep that endurance. And it's like, as hard and difficult as Saturn can feel, like that, like repressive energy, or like it's taking forever energy, it's like, you know, keep that optimism with like that Sagittarian, you know, keep the blinders on, you know, don't let anything stop you, keep going. But also, you know, put in that phone call to Jesus, right? Or whomever, you know, whatever feels right for your higher self, you know, that sort of thing. Okay. All right. Oh yeah, there's that feeling of will I ever get there, and then there's that optimism. Okay, so what's going on for Aquarius, please? Oh no, I got that song in my head. Whoa, okay, well, it could be a romantic love coming in for you for sure. All right, possibly, or just like things coming together for you, possibly in Capricorn season. I know that seems like a little ways off, but it's really not. It's, you know, it's not that far away. So anyway, all right, so what do we have? We have Ace of Pentacles, Knight of Wands, and the Hanged Man showing up here in the recent past. So it's like going after something, going after like an opportunity, but then feeling like hung up with it, or did I make the right decision? Should I go after this? So I feel like in like recently there's been this sort of I don't know-ness to things, right, going on for you. Maybe it's a person, like I don't know about them, or I don't know if this is, you know, like my type or what I want, or, you know, something along those lines. It could be work, career, or romance, you know, anything like that. In your current energy, you have the Six of Wands, the Knight of Pentacles, and the Four of Pentacles showing up. So it's like there's that like sort of, this is the hurdle to get through. And how you're going to get through this hurdle is your confidence. Okay, like I cannot stress that enough. So when I was talking about like that Saturn energy of like it feels like blockages to your fulfillment, or that it's taking a really long time, you know, to get through something. Yeah, you are a bit in a holding pattern right now. Okay, definitely. But I do feel, like I said, by Capricorn season, things could really change for you. And your key is confidence. Absolutely. That is what's going to carry you through things. So another thing here too, is this could actually be like a person coming toward you. So it's like they do have a confident plan, but at times they may pull that plan back. So you may be dealing with an earth sign, could be a Capricorn. All right. We also have Cancer here and Pisces, but it's like where it's, you may be wondering like, oh my God, you know, I'm not used to this. You know, this is like, you know, I want something more impulsive, or I want things to start moving now. And you may be dealing with somebody who they do have the confidence in you too and a future, but they may also be, have a lot of earth energy where they're very plodding, not plot with a T, plod with a D, right? Plodding, methodical. They want to have that plan. They want to have enough money. They want to, you know, like that kind of thing going on, right? But look at this showing up as far as like what's next. Okay, so you have the Chariot, the Two of Cups, and the Devil card. Okay, so I'm getting very strong Capricorn energy from this. I'm not getting really like a Devil card, like, oh, you know, oh, there's that ex, or oh, there's that unhealthy, you know, situation or something like that. This is breaking free, moving forward here energy. So I do feel like there's something here that's like trucking toward you, or like if you've met someone, like you are trucking toward, you know, more togetherness or something along those lines, but it might take some time. So if you've just met someone, you're excited about them, it feels like this new opportunity, you know, then it's like definitely there's something here to look at from different perspectives, because I don't think it's going to be like a shotgun wedding kind of situation, you know, or moving forward at a super fast pace or something. So you may need to, if it feels right for you, may need to adjust like how you view this situation, because they might not be like super fast with things, but I do think that they do have confidence in your relationship. Oh yeah, remember at the bottom of the deck, they do love you, but in the way that they know how. So the way that this person knows how is most likely to take their time and make sure they have a plan to come toward you. All right. So it's like, it's maybe a different type of love than you're used to. Maybe you're used to more impulsive or passionate, or, you know, like just impulsive or something like that. This is different. Okay. So it's a very positive reading. And I do feel like it's something that is moving toward strong connection, but it's just different. Okay. So there's that. If it is work and career for you, and it's not necessarily about romance, because we do have a lot of pentacle cards here too. It's just, you know, with the Two of Cups here, I tend to go romance, but you know, the Two of Cups in a career read can mean like something that's like perfect for you also. So it's the same message that I gave for the romance. It would be the same thing. It's like, just, you know, make sure that any plans that you are working on are coming from a place of confidence. All right. And yes, there's going to be a little bit of a lull, you know, to things. They might not be as impulsive and, you know, exciting as you need them to be right now. Right. But it's like, so just keep planning with confidence. All right. And it's like, it does look like there is like breakthrough energy of something that is like the perfect match for you here. And again, I'm strongly getting this at more in prediction value. I mean, sure, it may have something to do with a Capricorn, but I feel it's more prediction value of timing, that there's something more around that season. So Capricorn season would be like late December, it's right before your birthday energy, right? So January energy. Okay, so that's what I have for Aquarius. We are on to Pisces. Oops, nope, that one goes there. Okay, all right, Pisces. Let's see what the message is for you as far as what is next. We're going to look at the oracle cards first, and then we will take a look at the tarot. Okay, so your card's coming out right away. All right, let's get one of these handwritten cards here for you. All right, Pisces, please. Emotional release. Nice. Okay. So we have embrace non-judgment and seeing beyond the personalities. Okay. At the bottom of the deck. Okay, so let's see. What do we have? We have decision. Okay, trying to figure out how to like move forward. What's the next strategic move to make, right? Okay, and then we have protection with moon in Aries. I always look at this as like kind of tiger mom vibes, right? With this card. So, and then we have emotional release. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, so I wrote it where we break down this word release, like to look at it as real ease. Like E-A-S-E, you know, like easing into something, or the ease of something. So real ease. So emotional release. It's real and it's ease, you know, do it with ease. Okay. Healing, forgiving, and care of self is showing up for you right now. So some of you may be overthinking some sort of decision, all right? Possibly coming from like a tiger mom, you know, approach or something like that, or, you know, but I don't feel like this is a bad, you know, I'm not saying that in like a negative way or anything like that. I mean, you know, if it is, because she's sitting on the sofa with like 2 children, so I typically, you know, think of it as like mothering, you know, type energy. But, you know, it could be like your own inner self. If you don't have children and it doesn't make sense for you, then, you know, it's like your own mothering energy or something. But there is something here where it's like trying to make the best strategic decision for protection. Okay, so the one thing is, I don't know, I feel like with this healing, forgiving, care of self, and to emotionally release, but to do so with real ease, you know, not to overthink strategies or, you know, something like that. Because, you know, there's a lot of like metaphors, how life is a chess game, or, you know, we're the pawns, and, you know, you got to be the, you know, queens or the bishop, you know, whatever, all those things. And it's like, life really isn't a chessboard. You know, I get the metaphor, I get where they're going with that, and it can seem like it is, but it's like, to me, it feels like they want you, whoever they is, but it's like they want you to think that that is the metaphor, that life is like that there are these rooks, there are these pawns, there's the bishops, there's the queen, there's the, you know, and it's like, no, you know, it's not like that. So it's like, I feel like this is like taking yourself out of typical like approaches to things, and really working more on just emotionally releasing things in the easiest way possible, and the realistic, you know, the most realistic way possible is what I'm getting. Okay, so let's see. No pointing fingers at anything either. You have criticism at the bottom of the deck, which is like looking for issues or something like that. Virgo energy here. All right. Yeah. Wow. Revenge showing up here as well. So it's like, maybe you may be dealing with someone who is very critical, and you may feel like you know, this inner part of you wants revenge, you know, in something, but that's not helping things either. It's more just real ease in your life. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. The Hermit is saying that's just the, there you go. Didn't you have something about personalities, or, yeah, that's just like the heartbreak, you know, that makes us want to like criticize or get revenge. I feel like you're not the critical person, because typically Pisces are not critical or criticizing type people. I think it's more like you might be on the more the revenge side, like, oh, screw them, you know, that they did this to me, or, you know, something like that. Okay, so let's see. Yeah, right? Yeah, okay. Yeah, feeling trapped, waiting, being patient. There's new opportunities, you know, coming here. I do feel like there's a lot of like waiting and being patient and things like that for something. But here's the thing, but it's not like being like waiting and being patient for something to come fix everything. All right. It's more like being patient, because it's like, that's that emotional balance. All right. So being patient within oneself is key right now. But anyway, so recent past, you have Page of Pentacles, Ace of Cups, and Queen of Pentacles. So I do feel like in the recent past, possibly you've been talking with someone. It could seem like it's leading to something more solid, stable. or again, this could be about work and career, or, you know, how to, you know, make the best judgment call from love or something along those lines. I'm hearing school discussion too. Like some of you possibly, you know, could even be something about, you know, wanting to pay for private school or something like that for someone, all right, for a child. Because again, that mother card just keeps popping out to me. But for most of you, it's probably more about like romance or something along those lines. Or work and career, because you got a lot of work and career cards here too. So this read kind of fits the bill for any situation. All right, it's the typical epitome of a general reading. All right, so nothing stands out here clearly, whether it's like romance or work or, you know, a family situation. It could be either or. So I'll just give you the energy of what I'm seeing, and then you know, I trust you to apply it to your own personal situation. We have the 8 of Cups, the 3 of Cups, and the 2 of Wands. So this is showing up in your current energy. This is definitely wanting to like this is the epitome of emotional release. All right, it's like letting those things go right now. It's like, what truly, you know, do you some of you might feel like guilty for wanting something for yourself or something along those lines. And I want to say, like, I don't want to take that off, you know, take that off the hook either, or, you know, there may be something to that. All right. So like sometimes when we, you know, because there's a difference between self-care and yeah, I don't want to be like, see, that might sound like critical. Okay, so let me rephrase this. Okay, so it's like, yeah, the most important thing for you guys right now that I'm sensing from this energy is that it's like, it's not selfish, you know, to want to emotionally leave behind something and just kind of cut loose and be free, and maybe you know, go out at night with your friends or dating or something like that, whatever this is. Okay. However, you know, there are, you know, we do have responsibilities in life. So it's about that fine line, that balance. All right. That balance and harmony within a situation where, you know, because sometimes we can cut loose a little bit too much, you know, and then we start feeling guilty or shame or something like that because we didn't take care of some kind of responsibility. Right. Or it can work the other way around, where we're so damn responsible and we're over, like, protecting, over responsible, that we don't, you know, then we sell ourselves short. We don't cut loose and go out and have a good time. So there's something here about walking that balance line, all right, that is healthy for you, okay? And I do feel like some of you do need to, like, kind of blow off some steam, all right, in a way, and not be so like serious with like certain emotional things right now. You have in the what's next energy, you have the eight of swords, interest, 8 of coins, 8 of pentacles, the ace of swords, and the 4 of cups. I feel like some of you are like working on like a plan or working on something, but at the same time, I feel like it's directionless. Like, well, okay, but are you clear on exactly what you are waiting on or what you are working toward? So there's something here also about needing more like direction, and I would say like intent towards towards a result in a way, because I do feel like there is something that is being shown like very clearly here, but it's like if we're not super in tune with ourselves or clear on what it is exactly that we are even working toward, then things can be overlooked, opportunities can be missed. So I would say ask yourself this one question. I think this is a very good question that everyone should ask themselves. And it's a very simple and simplistic question, but it may surprise you. So the first thing to do before I say this question is to, whatever the first thing that comes into your mind, all right, when I state the question, it's like remember that, all right? It's not necessarily your answer, because this is a good question to go deep with and really consider, okay? So, but do pay attention to the first thing that flashes into your mind. Okay, so the question is, and again, it's very simple, is what do you value? What do you value? So when I asked myself this question, like immediately, like the first thing that came into my head was kindness. Now, yes, I do value kindness very much, but as I sat and pondered with this question, it's like I came up with a lot more synthesized, sort of energy that really did kind of open my eyes to what I thought I valued and what I actually value. So I think it's a very good question to ask oneself. Because I do think that there's like a self-critic within you that's being a little bit too harsh, and that there's like this overprotectiveness and this idea that everything has to be a strategy or like a chess move. And I'm sensing like that's not what is needed at this time. It doesn't mean like, oh, no responsibilities or, don't make any decisions or anything like that at all. Sure, make those things, but not from an emotional place or a fear-based place. This is more about making those decisions because you're clear on what you value. So thus, those are the decisions that you are going to make, right? That's what I'm seeing here. So that's what I have for you guys. I hope you enjoyed your readings, and I will see you soon. All right, thank you.